and heart. Yay. Mwah. Well, welcome. Let's start in, I just want to take this mudra we did last night. We've done it a few times. This, sometimes it's lotus flower mudra. Sometimes it's the opening of your heart. And just play with me for a moment. So feel that, you're holding this open lotus, open heart. You can start to bow your chin, close your eyes, feel your breath. We're just going to invite things into the cup, into the chalice, into the open heart, into the flower. And the way we're going to do that is, and you can, in your own, you're going to know where you're going to reach to grab these words. Maybe you're going to reach up, down, out to the side, and you're going to grab each thing I say with your index finger and your thumb, and you're going to bring it in to the chalice. So you'll bring it in, drop it, come back to mudra, and then use the other hand. Okay, and I'm just going to throw a few words out, and you can add your own. So before we do that, we're just going to feel what we want to invite in. Just feel. So the first word that comes to mind is patience. So you'll just take your hand, grab that patience and put it into your chalice, and then bring your hands back together. Compassion. Use your other hand to bring that in and place it. Contentment. And you reach or down low, put it in. Grounding. Compassion. Patience comes to my mind again. So double dose of patience. Bring that in. And then just do 3 on your own, and it could be the same ones. Maybe it's something different. It could even be, a person you want to bring into your heart or into your space. And once you have those, then we're not going to seal the palms completely, but we'll just bring all the fingers to touch, base of the palms to touch. Just inviting all of that in more deeply by bringing your hands onto your heart space, anyway there, just pressing in. And we've been doing all this work on, feeling into the open space of the heart, connecting to that spaciousness. Your heart space is the center of the chakra system. We have 3 chakras below: fire, water, earth, 3 above, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And the heart brings it all together. And you know how a heart can break, and a heart can repair, and a heart can grow, and a heart can expand, and it can break again, and it can grow together and expand. So smiling, receiving, acknowledging everything you hold in your heart. Bringing your breath there and inviting this place to soften, to receive, to open. Maybe that's the theme of our practice today. Is this comes to mind when we were in Guatemala. The phrase was, "My heart is opening. My heart is opening." And we'll take one nice big breath in here. Fill yourself up, lengthen. As you exhale, you might join your palms together or keep them as they are at your heart. And into all of that, my friends, we'll bless all of that we've invited in by chanting Om together 3 times. Inhale. Om. Bowing your chin to all that you've offered, all that you've invited in, and all that you've brought with you today. Release your hands to your thighs, lift your chin, and open your eyes. Okay, so we're going to just start. Maybe we'll start on our backs, and you won't need any props unless you want a blanket underneath you. Now I have my little rug here, so it's always there. So feel free to throw a blanket and something underneath your head if you need it. Just come to lie down. Keep your knees bent, feet on the floor. But pigeon toe your feet a little bit. Drop the knees together. And you start to settle and take your hands, rest them on your belly. Take a few breaths. Good. And just receive the earth beneath you. Feel yourself grounding. Bringing your arms down by your sides, palms down. And just spread your fingers. Anchor your hands down. Anchor the pads of the fingers down. Draw your belly in a little bit just so you feel maybe the bottom ribs connect to the earth. And as you inhale, reach the arms up to the sky and all the way over your head, backs of the hands to the floor. And then we're going to start to windshield wiper. So you might walk your feet wider apart and just dropping the knees one side and the other. Just warming up your hips, and we're going to add the arms a little bit to this. So as the knees drop to one side, the opposite arm is going to reach away. And you can just slow this down if you like and feel. And then just coming back to that basic resting pose. And you can bend your elbows a little bit or bring your arms back down if you need to. Pause into your breath. And then we'll just bring the feet into hip distance apart and might even walk them a little closer to your hips. Stretch your arms over your head, backs of the hands to the floor. If that's no good, change how you place them. Inhale here, gentle arch in your back. And as you exhale, press the back down, tailbone lifts, push into the feet, lift your hips to a comfortable height, and exhale, lower down. And we'll just do that 3 times. So you're, at the beginning of your practice, just warming up, just feeling your body, the spine. You don't have to go that fast. Just feel everything that connects to the earth to make this happen. And the next time you lower your hips down, just coming back to basic resting pose. I'm going to change this into what I call prairie sky asana. So you'll interlace your fingers, pop them behind your head with the elbows. Ganeshmi. And just take a breath or two here. And it's all part of clearing. Okay, take one more breath. And then with your hands, start to lift your head up and bring your elbows in. Soften the shoulders, chin is into the chest. And then start to use your hands to just turn your head side to side. So eyes are soft or closed, jaw is soft. Okay. Let's do one more on each side. And then you'll come to center. Just draw that head up. Drop the shoulders. Elbows are in either side of the head. Drop your jaw. Drop your eyes. And slowly lower your head back down. Open the elbows out. Rest. And then sneak your hands out from behind your head. Take the arms back over your head. Good. And this time, bring your knees into your chest. Take your hands up and over. And just rock the knees in and out a few times. And they can stay together. And then I'm going to open them apart and just do the same thing. So I'm just rocking them in and out. But now they're nice and wide as comfortable. Good. Okay. And then holding onto your knees, however you want to have them placed. And we're just going to press the right knee away from you and then pull it in and extend the left knee away from you. And just do this a few times. Good. Okay. And then we'll keep the right knee in. Place the left foot on the floor. Interlace your fingers middle of your shin and extend the left leg long if that's okay. Good. Okay. Good. And we're going to let this right knee drop out to the right. Your right hand is going to come up and just kind of hold the knee, and the left hand is going to hold the ankle so that the leg is, maybe turned a little bit. You feel it angled. Take one more breath. And we're just going to change where the hands are. So the left hand comes up to the knee, the right hand holds down at the ankle or anywhere you can get there. If you can't get to the ankle, it's okay. Just hold it in. So you're feeling a little bit of something in your hip crease. Flex your foot. Smile. And release the leg all the way out. Hands can be on your belly or out to the sides. Just pause for 2 breaths. And then if you need to bend the right leg, do that. But bring the left knee in, change the interlace. Hug it in for a moment or two. And then let the left knee move out to the left. Draw it in towards the shoulder. And now the left hand holds up at the knee. The right hand is going to hold at the ankle. And so I'm drawing this leg in. The right leg is extended. It's a little active. Let your shoulders drop if you're holding tension. And then change your hand. So the right hand holds at the knee, left hand holds the ankle. Good. And then release the leg all the way out. Arms wherever you like them, on your belly, out to the side, anything good, lovely here. And just feel your body. Good. Okay, keep the left leg extended. We're going to bend the right leg, put the right foot on the floor. Heel toe your right foot out to the side. So maybe it might even come off your mat. Drop your left leg out so that the baby toe edge of the foot is on the floor. We're going to push the right foot into the floor and you're going to roll onto the left side. Take the right arm and, if your right arm, maybe take the arm out to the side first. Now take the right arm up and over your head as you twist. And you're just going to be here. Keep the right foot on the floor. If you need to prop your head up, do that. And then bring it on back. And you just trace the floor. And as you come back, I'm going to let the right knee drop out to the right. And then I'll bring it back up, push into the foot, just come back into that twist. The right arm might trace all the way over to the left side. And then bring it on back. And drop the right knee out to the side. And last one. Exact. So it's not complicated. Just integrating and feeling. And as we come back this time, just pause here. Heel toe your right foot into center. Extend the right leg out. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Bend your left leg, left foot to the floor. Heel toe your left foot out to the side. Now you know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to push into the left foot, roll onto the right side, sweep this left arm up and over your head, and then just bring it on back. And as you come back, let the left knee drop out to the left. And then 2 more times. Just rolling, opening, finding some stretch here and some softness. And I'm just doing my third one. And coming back, dropping the knee. We're not going to come back to rest. I'm actually going to do this a 4th time, and this time we'll press ourselves up to sitting. As you roll over, you might bring your knees together, come up. Good. Okay, stretch your legs out. Pause here, and we're just going to come back to windshield wiper seated. So I'll bend the knees. We'll take the shoulders so the hands can spread. Doop. Doop. Open your legs and start to drop your knees side to side. And so as we do this, I'm actually walking down my mat. I'm getting a little bit more in the shoulders. And then bringing yourself to your center. And feel free to adjust anything here, but I'm going to keep the same shape. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. And we'll just come to this windshield wiper here. Just moving side to side, and the knee doesn't have to touch the floor. And I am getting a little bit of a shoulder opening here. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to lift up from here. Yogi's choice. You're welcome to just kind of hang out. Notice I brought my tush back. I find the arch. I bring the foot in. I set everything up. And then you lift up. And I'm just going to rock this hip. The same kind of thing. Good. Feel your hands. Good. And then lower down. Okay, now walk yourself in. I turn my hands. I'm bringing myself in as much as I can here. This is pigeon. So if it looks like this, that's all good. And if you can bring it in nice and tight, open your heart. Breathe. And then turn your hands, walk it back, unfurl, windshield wiper. You feel everything that's happened here. Such a great little pose. And then we'll come back. Okay, left ankle over right. I'm going to walk my hands back. I'm going to make it longer. Yogi's choice. Lift your heart and then find your windshield wiper. So it doesn't need to be very big. A lot happening. Oh, get some back cracking. And then come back and adjust whatever you need to do. So you can lift up or not lift up. It's all fine. Open your heart, lift your hips, and rock this knee up and down. I'm really pressing my hands down, taking the shoulders into that, so they're pushing down. And then lower down. Now I turn the hands and I walk everything in if I can. Maybe the foot comes in, I open the heart, I smile, you smile, we all smile. Good. Okay, and then turn the hands, walk them out, release, open your feet wide. All right, I'm coming up and over to squat. If that's not in your wheelhouse, just drop it over and fake it till you make it. But maybe it's at boop, lift your tush, hands over. Okay, frog hop back. So however you are here, my friends, feel free to use your hands on the floor and rock front to back. I feel like I just want to reach my arms forward, and I'm just going to rock front to back on my feet, but hands could be on the floor. I saw that. Good. Okay. And then we'll take the hands down. We'll walk ourselves forward onto hands and knees. So find yourself there. Put something underneath your knees if you need it. I walk my hands forward. Inhale, lift your chin, and exhale, bow into yourself. Or cat-cow. So just moving a little bit here. Close your eyes. Feel your body. Good. Nice. So feel yourself. Now feel your tailbone. I started with the head. Move your tailbone in, down and up as you move through your cat-cow. Good. Nice. And then just come to rest in this tabletop. So on all fours. And I'm going to have my hands a little bit forward from my shoulders. And we're just going to do some shoulder push-ups. So you'll melt the heart and you'll press up. Now, I know I see my head moving, but it's really the heart space. I'm going to look down at the floor, back of the neck long, the squats. Good. And now walk your hands back so you feel like shoulders are right over top of wrists, if that's okay. And then do the same thing. Flossing. Good. And then the next one, walk the hands back a little bit. So it's more wrist. You know, if that's no good, you adjust for yourself. And then I'll do the same thing. Just floss in the shoulders here. Good. Okay. And then tuck your toes under if they're not. Bring your hips back towards your heels. And you can keep the hands on the floor or walk them upright, come up. If you come up, maybe roll your wrists around, lift yourself up. So heart's showing the modification. You can't sit on your heels. It's all good. Good. All right, we're coming to forward fold. So take the hands down, lift the seat up, and walk your hands back. You don't have to go right, forward fold generally, hands right by the feet. Maybe the hands go forward. And just rock front to back or lift and lower your heels, whatever you can do here. If you need to bend your knees, you know that is just fine. Everything open when we treat it with kindness. I guess that could be the same for the heart, right? When we feel we're being treated with loving kindness, our heart softens and opens. Good. Okay, I'm going to drop in. Take my hands off the floor, grab opposite elbows, let your head go, shift your hips back, breathe. You can even lift your toes if that is in your wheelhouse. Feel your breath. Good, and then take your hands down to the floor. Let's walk into downward facing dog. And I'm just going to take 5 breaths here. So if you need child's pose, that's fine. Okay, so this is, this downward dog. Let's use this dog and feel that we can really open our calves. Let's do that. So we can press the thighs back. Look at your feet. Yeah, press the heels of your hands down and forward. Maybe your toes can lift up off the floor, even a baby bit. You press the heels towards the floor. Good. Okay. Nice. And then we'll all lower down into child's pose, or if that isn't a good pose for you, then just sitting. So as I come into child's pose, I'm going to walk my hands forwards. You can get so long. Lower down with your forehead to the floor. And we're here for 5 breaths. Okay. And lifting your head, walk your hands back, and come to sit. Okay. So from here, we're going to take your bolster, and you're just going to put your bolster where your head was. Everyone has a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can just stack up a whole bunch of blankets, which is what I'm going to do next. So I have 2 blankets, and I'm just going to lay them on top of the bolster here. And you're gonna adjust, once you get into it, you'll adjust. So what we're gonna do is a supported Sphinx. So let me see if this is a good angle for me to, I'm just gonna turn my camera a little bit. Okay, so once I have this, I have bolster, blankets, and then I can always fold the blankets as I need to. I'm gonna come to lie down so that my hips are on the floor, my belly, my chest, everything is here. I can put my hands here. The legs can open, tops of the feet to the floor. I'm just gonna wiggle myself up so the feet can come down. And then you're here. So the forearms are on the floor. So you feel this lift, arch in your back, you got it. Yeah, and then we can even drop the head. It might rest on the bolster. You might fold the blanket to support your head. And if you don't want to drop your head or rest it there, just turn it so the face is looking down. Okay, so I feel this bolster on my bottom ribs. I imagine my belly is free, even though it's touching the floor. So adjust what you need to. Hopefully everything else feels okay. I'm just gonna melt. I'm just letting the back melt. And feel the shoulders, you know, that they're not hunching forward, but they're, you know, you're not pressing them back, you're not working it too hard. You're just taking them back enough so that, you know, they're not coming forward towards your chin. And softening through your belly and your back. Just listening to the sound of your breath. Nice and easy. Just releasing, you know, if you're holding a little bit to protect your back, maybe you can drop in a little more. Okay, and then staying in your softness, starting to lift your head, and that's going to add a little bit more. So if this is, you know, it's too much, you can put your head back down or find a way to be here. I'm pulling the chin in, just enough to bring a little bit of something. And breathing into your belly as if you're doing nothing. Your eyes can be closed or they're open, the gaze is soft. And then I'm going to lift up now into full Sphinx. And so yogi's choice, you can stay right here, or you just kind of take your hands back a little bit. They might go out, roll the shoulders back, and you can press yourself up a little bit, a lot, whatever it is, you know, maybe a bend in the elbows, shoulders back. If it's too much for your back, take the hands forward more. You know, so kind of figure out, oh, what feels good here that I can be in this extended Sphinx, or maybe not. Maybe it's too much. I don't want to be here. I'm going to lower back down. Like I said, we don't need to hold headstand for 10 minutes. You find your place and you breathe as if you're doing nothing. You can drop your head or look straight ahead. You can even look up and lift your chin. And we're just here for 3 more breaths, so make it your own. And we're going to come back down to that first position. So just that resting you did. As if this is just like really rest. And feel like you can just let go into the props. Nice. Okay, stay as you are. Bend your knees. Take your heels like towards your hips as if you're 5 and we're just hanging out. And then find this windshield wiper action, just rocking your knees side to side. Again, if this is too much for your back, you can move the bolster out of the way. And then we'll come to rest in basic resting pose, feet together. And I'm going to come back to lifting myself up into Sphinx. So maybe you just lift your head, but if this is too much, put your feet down, do whatever you need to do. So I'm pressing the forearms down, and then I'm going to lift up all the way, but yogi's choice. My hands are forward a little bit. So you feel what works for you. Breathe. Smile. And release. I'm going to keep my feet where they are. I'm coming down. I'm going to turn my head to one side, elbows out. And then turning your head the opposite way. And then bring your head back, and we're going to come up and back child's pose. So I'm going to bring the hands. My knees are still bent, so I can roll over the knees. And then I'll walk them up. I'm going to come into child's pose, and I have all of these props here. So I can pull the bolster in. I can adjust the blankets. You might take your hands underneath. So what I did with my blankets, I just took the top one and folded it. And then I'll take my hands underneath the bolster. And you can turn your head to one side. Rest your forehead, whatever feels good. Elbows can move out. And I'm just going to drop in here, breathe into your back. So if you need your bolster to be higher, more blankets so that you feel like you're snuggled in, then find it. Feel your breath into your low back. And fill yourself up with each inhale. And soften your pelvic floor, your glutes, anything you're clenching that you can let go of. And then turning your head all the way to face the other side and continuing on. Okay, take one more full breath in, full breath out. And then you can sneak your hands out. Okay, from here I'm going to take downward facing dog, and I'm going to use this prop here to maybe rest my head on. So I come to hands and knees. My chest is right over where I think my head's going to go. It might not. And then press yourself up and back. Maybe your head will rest on the bolster comfortably. If that's not there, that's fine. Yeah, I'm going to find that stretch again into my calves. So I'm pressing the thighs back, pushing the hands down and forward, pressing the heels towards the earth, and I'm lifting my toes. And take one more full breath. Love your dog. And then lower yourself back down. And we're going to come to sit. So I'm actually going to cross one ankle over the other, roll it on over, stretch the legs out either side of your bolster. Good. And then you can put your hands on the floor if you need to. Actually, let's roll the ankles. And I'm going to roll the wrists too. If you can take your hands off the floor comfortably here. Just rolling your ankles, your wrists, lifting yourself tall. Good. Okay, we're going to come to a wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to keep the props here. Before I do that, I want to just take advantage of just massaging the inseam of the legs. And so just mush that up all the way here. And you can make circles or nice long movements if you like. Breathing and feeling. Again, you might even go to the outside of the thighs. The inside of the thighs get really tight. But, you know, it all needs some love, the top, the back. Okay. All right. So from here, you might take a block and you might lift it up. You know, if you need this to be higher, this is where we're going, right? Oh, that feels so nice. So I'm actually going to keep the block there. And if you need to sit on something, hopefully you have something else you can just perch on. And that also sometimes can make things happier. And I'll say, you know, like I always do, if you need something underneath your knees, throw that there. And, you know, it's funny, the heels thing. So very long time ago, it was maybe even a year ago, we did this in class here. And I think Anne said her heels hurt when we pushed them in. And, you know, so I think about these things a year later. But when we push the heels in, you know, we're activating the back of the knee. And so that can be, you know, it's all connected. So if you can push your heels in, maybe you can spread your toes. And if that's okay, and if it's not comfortable, throw something underneath your heels. Because when we anchor the heels, we anchor everything. And then I just find myself lifting tall here. So hopefully you're all set up. We're going to start by lifting the arms up. You can look up, reach up. Then as you exhale, like offer this pose, your hands can come out, come down to the floor wherever you need. You know, as you move in, you'll adjust. And you might turn your head to one side. Now I'm going to turn my palms up because I can have my forearms on the floor here. And my feet are still active. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing the heels down and away, anchoring the legs. And once you're comfortable, then you can let your legs just go. And hopefully you're okay here. If not, come back up, readjust. So, you know, if you don't touch your props, that's fine. It's just a nice way to just rest. So close your eyes. And even see yourself in your mind's eye in the shape you're in. And notice where your breath is filling. Like so much water being poured into you, cooling you, refreshing you, cleansing, clearing, all these great things. And feel that breath, the water in the pelvic bowl. And if you can let go of your glutes or drop your pelvic bowl, let everything be heavy to the earth, and just find that. And just turning your head to face the other direction, just nice and slow, however you need to do that. Coming back in. Melting whatever you can release. The back of the heart, the pelvic bowl, tension in the jaw. And, okay, just take one nice big breath. Side out. And then use your hands in some way to press yourself up. And you take your hands behind. Maybe we'll just bend the knees and a little windshield wiper just to release all of that goodness. Good. Okay, we're going to come into Janu Shirshasana. So I'm going to extend my left leg along the bolster. I'm going to turn a little bit and bring the right leg in. So I have this exact same setup. My leg is to the outside, other one is in. Sit on something, prop your leg up, be here for a moment. Yeah, I even have my foot is resting against the bolster here, and this feels pretty good. Okay. So just take one nice big breath in. As you breathe out, soften what you can here. And then turn yourself towards bolster and leg. And we're just going to come back. You know, you might just be here if it's too much, or keep your hands there, but maybe you can come all the way down. And breathe. So you should feel a twist or stretch happening on the right flank. And if that's no good, you know, adjust yourself. So I'm not right over the leg. I'm kind of to the inside. And if you need to put your hands on the floor, whatever you need to do, lifting the hands up or the arms up here, this opens up that side of the body. So whatever you need to do, my friends, you do it. I'm resting my forehead, softening the jaw, and letting the breath massage the places you feel opening. And notice if you're gripping in your hands or your feet feel a little tense, your jaw. And then I'm just going to guess, you know, the outer right hip or the inner right hip, that whole area. Just feel that you can soften that. Maybe you're gripping there. Can you let that go? Melt yourself in. Conscious connection of release. Let's take one more full breath. Release your breath. And then slowly walk yourself upright and just pause, you know, as you come up, just wherever you're facing, eyes closed. Even settling back into your hands if that you need to lean back a little bit. And okay, and then we'll change legs. So adjust your hips, extend the right leg, take the left leg out, hop up, sit up. You know, you adjust yourself so that you are in a position, you know where you're gonna go, so you're ready. And we'll just start again like we did, you know, just in the center point. Just resting, breathing, and let the pelvic floor receive the grounding. Good. Okay, and then just turning yourself and finding your position here. So generally we have the arms the same way. See if you can change the cross. But if you need to rest your hands on the floor in any place, that's fine. So take your time and find your shape. And dropping into your breath. Notice if the two sides feel very different. And filling the basin of your body with the water of your breath, nourishing what it touches. Softening your eyes. So everything is very heavy and deeply, deeply happening inside of you. You're very aware of the breath, of the softening, where you can relax. And just taking your last inhale and exhale, and then slowly bringing yourself back upright to that center place. The hands can come behind, the chin can drop, eyes can stay closed, the gaze resting. And just receive all of what you have offered yourself. Good. Okay. So the next one will be a Baddha Konasana. I'm just going to come to sit in front of my props and take the soles of the feet. And, my block is here. I can rest the feet against the block. That's comfortable for me. Maybe they go underneath the bolster. It's all fine. Hopefully you have more props if you need them, or just borrow to prop up underneath here or to sit on. And just adjust. And we'll just come to just sit. And we'll open the heart. I'm just going to sit tall. So the soles of the feet are together, or they're a little bit apart. It's more about the hips opening. Okay, so I just have my feet together. They're in front of the prop. The bolster is actually resting on my heels here and coming in towards the groins. That's all fine. So you take this moment here, lift your heart. Let's even lift the chin. And as you lift the chin, the tailbone goes back, right? It's cow pose mechanics. And then you can bring the chin back, and maybe you're even going to feel your tail descend to be nice and even. Notice if you need more props underneath your knees or whatever you need. And then we're just going to walk ourselves forward into this forward fold. So these props might be enough, might not be enough, move them around, adjust. And maybe your head turns one way, or you drop your forehead down. You can always roll your blanket, create something nice. So I have one blanket right underneath my chest, and then the other one I've just rolled a little bit to support the forehead. But if that's no good, turn your head, do whatever works, so that you can be in a place where you can really just receive the shape. And with the hips open, you draw the breath down to the pelvic bowl. And we're opening the heart. You're breathing into the back body. Soften through your face. Soften your hip crease. And just simply be in this shape with your breath. And if your head is turned one way, turn it the opposite now. And just coming back to the motion of your breath, filling, opening your back body like so much water, filling its container and spreading out to fill that container. All the space that's being offered. Just lengthening or really feeling your breath nice and even, long, relaxed. And slowly start to bring yourself up out of this. And as you come upright, your hands can come behind and keep your eyes closed if you like, or gaze, it's very soft. You can stretch your legs out, move your ankles. Good. Okay, I'm just going to move this bolster up. And so from here, we're going to move into Shavasana. I'm going to offer the bolster for maybe a Supta Baddha Konasana. So I'm going to keep the blocks a little separate, just like that, and I'll just lay the bolster over top, and it is kind of hanging. Okay, now hopefully you have enough blankets for everything you need. I'm going to turn around. Okay, so I'm going to show this two ways. You're going to lie down over the bolster. Hopefully everything works out nice with your blocks. You can always adjust. And then we're going to do either Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together with some props underneath your knees. If that's no good, you can stretch your legs out and just kind of open them wide. Now I'm going to take Virasana here because I really like that, especially when I'm in my moon time. It's a nice stretch, but if that is no good for you, you don't have to do this. So I take this, I sit, and I'm actually perching on the edge of the bolster. And then I'll lie back and kind of snuggle in. My tush is on the floor now. So this for me is like golden, and I'll stay here for a little bit and then move into Shavasana. You do what's golden for you. Okay, we're moving to the end. I'm going to just use these over my thighs here. And I'll put a little support for behind the head. And then you might throw your eye pillow in. Okay, so either Baddha Konasana or legs stretched out, or if Virasana works for you. Is anybody trying this? Okay, it's all fine and lovely. So we have this, hopefully you have a block support, you feel your heart is supported, Your hands can, you know, rest on your thighs or on your belly or out to the side, if that's okay for your shoulders. And then down by your feet, you can put your hands with the palms facing up if that works for you. So I'm going to stay here for, you know, maybe 3-4 minutes, and then I'll slip into Shavasana. And so I'll let you know when that is going to happen. If you're happy as you are, you can stay. Softening and receiving whatever shape you've chosen. Soften, release, rest in your stillness. And if you're happy as you are, stay there. And if you want to adjust for our next few moments into Shavasana, just making your change really quiet and slow. You might take the bolster out and might move that bolster for underneath your knees or your thighs. Sorry, not thighs, knees or calves, or whatever works. Softening, releasing through your breath and through your conscious effort. Melt a little bit more deeply to feel your liquid inner body spread out, soften. As if you could fill all the spots of you inside to the outside. And staying as you are, if this feels what you need right now, and if you're ready to start to journey your way out and just finding your gentle movements, fingers, toes, ankles, wrists. You can stretch your arms over your head and your feet away from you. And bending your knees, and you might want to rest there for a moment with the knees bent or hug them into your chest. Rolling onto your side. And then making your way up to seated. Feel ready. You don't need to come up. You can stay as you are as well. Just honoring your practice, your presence, and I'm just going to come back to this sealed heart. So keeping the finger pads touching, the base of the palms touching, but the inner hands open. And just dropping your chin towards your heart. You can do this lying down. And just feel all those words that we called in. Patience, calm, security, love, compassion, understanding, and anything you called in for yourself, let that be your guiding light. It's always kind of interesting to, write these things down. What am I calling in for myself today, right now? What do I need? And so hopefully you feel that some of those have been filled by your practice, that you are calm and grounded and centered. As you inhale, lengthen yourself, lift your chin, and exhale as you are. We'll join together, separate yet together in our May We Be Blessed mantra. Inhale.
May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy.
Inhale for Om. Bow your chin. Take a full breath. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath. Lift your chin. Open your eyes. Namaste, friends. Yes, namaste. Thank you so much. Good. How do they know? They know. Happy Friday, my friends.